With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll start the drive here with an end around. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
No, we changed it.
Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. Here's Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Inside handoff, Henry pushes him over. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone, 1st down. Jackson now. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Now Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. Now it's Jackson, flushed out right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah. You change it.
Henry. Yeah, Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this 1st quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Jackson will keep it. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Lamar Jackson scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Ravens' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Here's Hurts to throw. Got his man. It's Gainwell. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side with Gainwell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Motion left, Smith. Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking here for Smith downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
Hey, what's up, bro?
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. The offense.
You can even make this at home if you wanted to. No argument, no bitching, just a good time. Crazy date I had.
Already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action with Hurts. And that's
Good, good.
for an Eagles touchdown.
Just pissed off, you know, with my Eagles.
Calcaterra from 19 yards away. And the Eagles
My second
are
favorite
extra
team,
point
the
away
Bears,
now from
beat
tying
them.
this ball game. Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7.
All these Eagles fans are just very reactionary. You know, they say the defense sucked today. They say Hurts isn't it. You know, Hurts sucks. AJ Brown's a cancer. It's all bullshit. You know.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring
I mean,
it
everybody's
to the
like,
30-yard
oh,
line.
what's wrong with the offense? What's wrong with the offense? Do you not know almost every offensive lineman's been injured all year? Been playing hurt all year. And you wonder why the run game isn't working, and everybody's like, oh, well, oh, we need the run game to work. No, you don't. You can't run the ball, pass the ball to run the ball. You can't pass the ball, run the ball, pass the ball. Like, it works both ways. I can't believe this shit. You know, I can't believe this shit that's going on. And I got this fucker just like,
and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to...
I told you not to fucking lag switch me.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, This secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
Here's Jackson to throw. A short one there, caught by Likely. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
Yeah, but people are honestly reading into it the wrong way with AJ. Honestly.
And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out.
Everybody and their mother is saying AJ's an issue. He's a cancer. He's ruining the team, the locker room. It's all bullshit. He is nowhere near a diva. He's not a diva. He's just a regular, average, elite wide receiver. He's frustrated because the offensive, offensively we can't get anybody working.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Wait, you're an Eagles fan too?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Jackson. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And he has
we're a diehard Eagles fan. I mean, I say the Bears are my second favorite team just because I was a fan of Jay Cutler's and I like the city of Chicago. So basically it. I kind of like the culture they have, the fan base they have,
Jackson escaping the pressure right. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion.
I just watched a movie today. Just finished watching the movie Lock. It came out 2025 this past year. Don't throw it.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. And the Eagles are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, I like the Bills like way before a lot of fans started coming around with them. I probably liked the Bills like 2 to 4 years ago.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission.
Like I like the whole Bills Mafia name to the fan base. I love that. And I kind of think of them like the Eagles, like back then when we went to not four straight Super Bowls, but
And that'll be dumped off to Gainwell.
forgot who losing to the Texans. Yeah. Well, the Texans. I'm telling you, I don't trust anybody this year. I'm sure the Rams will lose another game, but I don't trust anybody.
That's it for the first half. 2 more
Nobody.
quarters to go. We'll have plenty
I mean, you
more
look
to
at these
see
teams
after
that came
the
out of
break.
nowhere, right?
Welcome
I
back,
expected
Charles
that from the
and I.
Colts
Settled
and
into the
Daniel
booth
Jones.
for
I
week
expected
4
that. I
of
expected a
NFL
Sam
number
Darnold
3.
type. Yeah. Well, I'm not. I was there through the tough days.
For the second half, one
Yeah.
touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score.
Nah.
The lane opens here. He's passed
when you're in love with a team and,
but as it is, still a good
I don't
return.
know.
They'll start the
I
drive
think a
right
big
around the
thing is the
37.
culture,
Already at the line, this Philly
Like,
offense
I
set to go.
I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Cowboys fans, or there's a lot of former Cowboys fans now.
Well, I think that they
You know.
probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game.
The hell
no
is
need
going
to
on?
panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our
That's
best in
bullshit.
the first half.
This
Look
is
at that.
caught
Wow.
inside the
Did you
15.
see that?
Touchdown.
I'm like, what the fuck's going on? My crosser, that's what I hate with drones sometimes. Seriously, I gotta,
63
I'm just
yards.
fucking around
And
out
the
here.
Eagles come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of
This
the
guy
third
had,
quarter.
this guy was winning by a
Elliott
touchdown. He
good
scored a
on the
touchdown
extra
first
point,
because he had this
and that makes
stupid
the score 14-7.
end around scheme where he was running the ball inside, outside, using end around, mesh,
Now after the
you know.
touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
No. The Chiefs had issues. You know, the Chiefs.
And able to get this out to the
Even if
25.
even if the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl today, I wouldn't trust them. You know, you can't trust them. Like even if the Eagles didn't blow them out in last year's Super Bowl, I would not trust them.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
They're just not the
This
same.
game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up.
Yeah, there was like 7 minutes left, and I said, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna put the game on my phone, the Eagles game on my phone, and I'm gonna play." I played a couple games.
So from the 39
I mean,
now,
I played the first game. My opponent. Wait a minute. No, it was one game, just one game. Yeah, here we go.
Run for their wideout.
He's gonna cut it back. Okay. That's the shit I'm talking about.
Take this all the way up to midfield. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore.
I told this guy I tell these players I give them a list of things to do, because I tell them, like, if you're gonna celebrate, if you're gonna act cocky or do certain shit, like, I'm gonna try a little bit in this game, but you don't want me to try. I don't want to try anything. I'm just playing them just to play them.
Jackson gonna change
Yeah,
things
they're
up
not
a
getting
bit.
those calls. You know.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flush to his right. Wiggles free. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on
So what's the
second
score in the
down. Even
Bills
extra
game?
guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last
Probably like
lap
17-10
by
or
the blitz
close one.
and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
See all this cheap shit?
Middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28. They'll try the right side with Henry. And he tries to power
I don't do any
forward,
of
but
this.
he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And his throw
I mean,
is
come
going
on.
to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another
There's
incompletion.
no such thing as a player that sucks or is trash. There's just
It
laziness.
comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short
Let me go
pass
to a rare
and turn
cover
it into
2
a
play
long
here.
gain, or make people miss downfield. They've got to have
See, the thing with
points,
the
and
empty
guys who can
is
put the ball in the end zone,
they
they're
can
the
run
ones that
it.
need to
They
touch
have the
ball.
double moves. If they have enough time, they can
From the
call
gun
it.
on 3rd down, Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. They juked him.
Yeah, I don't
He's
watch
out of
college
bounds.
football
Almost
anymore.
gets to the 10.
If that's what you're talking about,
Getting in
probably.
sync, another first down.
What a drive
Wait,
this has
today's
been, just
Friday,
chewing
yeah,
up the
probably.
yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet. As they finally
Yeah, I
get
can't
down
remember
into
the
red
last time I
zone
watched it.
and
I
look to
mean,
finish this off with 6.
I watched maybe. I'm a
To the
Penn
ground
State
now,
fan,
it's
so
Henry.
it's like
And
Pennsylvania.
he couldn't quite get there.
I actually
Tackled down
live
at the
close
one.
to one of the Penn State
Another nice
campuses.
gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Wow, holy
It'll be
shit! It's
first
just
and goal when we come
that whole
back.
quarter ran
We'll
out in
return
like
with more after
2
this
minutes.
break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th.
How are they doing?
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they... And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
I haven't done anything all game defensively. Nothing.
Lamar Jackson.
You saw it was
his
like
second
first
touchdown of
page
the
on coaching
afternoon.
suggestions.
And the
That's it.
Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Tucker now to add the point after. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
You know, I find that when I like watch football or I practice, I go and practice before I play a game. It's like I'm all of a sudden in the mood, like better, like I'm more motivated to play. But I didn't play in practice. It's almost like, you know, you got to have the right mindset for a game, no matter what. Because then, like, for me, sometimes it just takes my opponent scoring once, and I'm like, done, I'm not in the mood anymore. Like, it's hard for me even to get in the mood. Most of the time, I'm not in the mood. Yeah, we're in the defense.
For the first time this game, multiple defenders in there to drop it. Throwing is Hurts. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted.
Like I said, I don't read the defense. Never.
And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back
inside
the 20. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the score.
Yeah, I just kept the play, and I knew pre-snap the only routes would be open would be those hitches outside. I knew that. When I hiked the ball, I thought I could outthrow somebody somewhere, especially when he was usering that corner on the left side. I was like, if I just hot routed a post there or something, I would have got a touchdown.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson out to his left. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. That one checks all the boxes.
It's tough because they run the ball inside.
First down, check. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, check.
Running the ball outside, and then he's doing this. I mean, inside and that, and then he might take off the Lamar.
Right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get needed.
I don't like to use cover twos, but let me tell you, like I said, I don't blitz and I don't use cover twos. Not for my benefit, for their benefit. If he's in cover 3 match, he's fucked here. Oh, he's really fucked down. Touchdown. Oh, I tried to spin to the right.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the fourth quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Stopped here for no gain, and then it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Somehow get out there.
Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 64 yards.
One seam pass all game long. Don't use them.
And the Eagles strike quickly to take the lead here in the fourth. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Jackson. That is caught. Bateman. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Here comes second down. Throwing, Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
That is caught, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Quick, ready?
Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout.
I'm pissing this guy off. He doesn't like me pausing it, but he's playing like a bitch. Another player using the Ravens. I only practice against the Ravens. I will use the Titans, like, for running the ball. I don't really run the ball, but I will use the Titans because they have the worst offensive line in the game, and I will use the Steelers, practice against the Steelers, and their front, their defensive front is the best in the game.
So talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to look downfield for Henry. And he's got it inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Jackson to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And yes, he's into the end
Score
zone.
too early.
So
That's what I do. I'll get the last laugh. All he needs a field goal. Now he's got no timeout. So he can't even ice me.
And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th.
I got 2 timeouts, so normally I don't have any in this situation.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here.
Oh, come on, bro. Jeez, if I make a miss, I'm already in field goal range. Hey, but I'll take it because, you know, you need like 1 or 2 plays to get where I am right now, usually.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Dodges him at the 50. And he's got some space here. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy
One
of the
screen
40.
pass all game.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just
He's
over
got no
40
timeouts.
seconds
I could
to go
literally
in the
score
game.
right here.
Final
And
minute,
then
1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
give me something open here.
Play action. Here's Hurts. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of
No
bounds.
timeouts, buddy.
They'll come up now on second down. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
At this stage, you've got to hustle.
Run it again.
You're saving that
Run it
time
again.
to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there
Just get
for the
inside
big
there.
shot.
For easy 2 shot here.
And they'll go right back to Gainwell here on 1st down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left.
What's up, buddy?
It's turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense.
Can't even nice,
after a
man.
while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And his kick
Look, he
is
just kicked it,
right
however.
there. It's good, and the Eagles are going to win the football
I gotta kick it like that,
game.
or else I'm gonna miss it. Because I don't know how to fucking
What a
kick. I haven't been.
finish
I never
Charles.
practiced
This
kicking
group,
in
they
Madden
come in, they
25.
have to fight a hostile
Apparently
atmosphere
offline
every
you can
snap.
change the meter,
They
have
get
it
the lead
normal,
score,
but
they
online you
get the
can't.
victory, and that flight home,
I tried.
it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like
Playing
you,
out here
I was
without
fired
A.J.
up for
Brown,
that
without
last
Saquon
sequence.
Barkley,
How
without a
about
running
that?
game,
Wouldn't you have loved to have been
going
in the
quick
huddle when they were
on
mounting
offense,
that
quick on
game-winning
defense,
drive?
not
Big-time
trying,
moment.
not doing
No
anything.
one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads,
One more game and it'll
executed
be a
the way they
10-game win
needed
streak.
to earn that win.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.
Look at all this garbage. Guys, I really would hate myself if I played like they did. It's ridiculous, the shit these players are willing to do. I mean, sometimes this play, like, it's one of my go-to plays. Like medium situation. I mean, sometimes short too. But medium or deep, like 8 to 12 yards, which is really considered long. In my opinion, it would be considered medium. In real life, in my opinion, like, long should be like 10, 12 plus yards. But Madden believes that 8 yards is considered long. Like 6 to 10, 6 to 12 yards should be medium. 6 to 11 yards, 5 to 11 yards should be medium. After 11 yards, 12 yards, that should be considered long, honestly. But they probably say that because in real life, like, it's kind of hard. Like, the numbers don't favor teams. Even, like, a 3rd and 8 really favors the defense more, so they probably consider it long for that situation. So in that case, I mean, because it's weird. It's funny because it's like short for Madden is considered like, you know, inches and like up to like 3 or 4 yards. And then so you basically just have between 5 and 8 is considered medium, right? So it's like, it's basically like 1 to 3 is considered short. So that's 3 like yards, like a difference of 3 yards. And 5 to 8 is considered medium, so the difference of 3 yards. It's interesting to me. And I mean, but it is true, you know, like, you can't really go on your bag. I mean, I have a lot of plays for 8 or more yards, to get 8 or more yards. And right here, I clicked on here, but right here, I'm like, you know, I'm high pointing it late because I know he's trying to probably pick it. He's been going for, like, later in the game, he's really going for picks. He hasn't been going to back the ball down or anything. So, yeah, he's still trying to catch it instead of batting it down there. And, you know, when you're doing that, you know you're going to get that catch because you're jumping up and their hands can only be, like, on your hip or your waist at that point because they're not jumping. So that's why, user catch that one. All right, you're a Chiefs fan. I gotta say, I'm not impressed with any AFC team. You know, the Colts. I mean, it's great to have the Colts where they are. It seems like once again the NFC is a strong conference. You know, I mean, the AFC is just so up and down, and it seems like honestly, I don't know if the Ravens won, I believe, yesterday again. So, you know, if they have been healthy, maybe Lamar. And I'm not a Ravens fan. I just beat the Ravens with the Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm just saying, like, the Ravens probably would have been a legitimate team because their only excuse, like, was Lamar didn't play. So, but I was still thinking, like, with that offense they have, how can you not find a way to win games until he comes back? Like, they lost almost every game, especially who was their quarterback? Cooper Rush from the, you know, he used to play for the Cowboys. He was serviceable, you know. So I don't know. They don't have as many weapons. The Ravens don't have as many weapons as the Cowboys. Their O-line's a little suspect in some areas, but I would say with the Chiefs, I think that's a mentality type thing, just like with my Eagles. They're not winning those close games. You know, they're getting everybody's best. Yeah, right here I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not somebody who ever plays Fag D, but I will, like, you know, take somebody out and try to cover something. And right there I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to go follow him. I'm going to bump him upwards. And I think I ended up, yeah, I did end up bumping him because I'm pretty sure that's not like an actual route. There's no way that's a route. Could be, I doubt it though. And I was like, what the hell? Like, he probably threw it because he thought he was probably crossing me. But you know, when at this point I'm like, fuck that. I'm getting in his way. I don't care at this point because I'm not going to get a penalty. It's within 5 yards. So I just said, fuck it. I'm going to use Carter, or was that Davis? Who's 90? I thought he was 93. Is it Davis? Okay, Davis. For some reason I have him as a 93 in my mind. But Davis, basically, you're able to, like, you know, basically just do whatever you want within 5 yards, you know. So I did that purposely, knowing that he was within 5 yards. So there's two plays that I played that basically stopped him from scoring a touchdown and got me to score a touchdown. So literally, where is it? Touchdown that I scored. Or not a touchdown, but an adjustment I did. Was it this one? Probably. I thought that would be way more than 38 yards. It just feels that way. I mean, it's 38 yards, but he's behind the line of scrimmage by like 10 yards, so it's almost like 50. So like I said, right here, I click on, but at the end I'm saying, like, okay, he's not going to jump. I know he's not going to do that. He's out of position. He can't jump. So I'm jumping now. He's not sure, like, you know, how high the ball is. So in my opinion, knowing that, I'm thinking, if I jump up for this ball, if I jump up, he ain't going to jump with me. So I'm going to jump up and I'm going to try to catch this myself, because there's no way he can, like, I don't care about that bullshit, like, where, like, you know, you go on replay and you zoom in, he never bats the ball down, but it looks like like the ball's getting swatted, right? But here there's not even a chance, right? Because the most he can do is get his arm, like, on his body, right? Or it looks like that. And I know, like, okay, I'm basically going to out body him, you know, at the catch point. There's no way he can bat this ball down or anything. If it's going to be incomplete, it's going to be a drop by Smith. And if I was to grade on a scale of 1 to 10 with how hard this catch is, I would say it's probably, for Smith in real life, I would say it's probably like between a 4 and a 6 out of 10. In Madden, it's probably more like a 6 or 7 in terms of difficulty for Smith in Madden. So I really like my chances. Now, if it's Johnny Wilson, who I have instead of A.J. Brown on the team, I'm probably giving him like a 2 to 4 chance out of 10 that he comes down with it. So there's a huge difference. Yeah, so let me see here. I think oh right, yeah. So, with this curl flat played by the defensive ends, for some reason they go play in the middle, or no, he's a buzz defender, either regular. Or, I don't know. It's confusing to me that he would play the buzz. That doesn't make sense to me. It's because of the alignment that he plays a buzz right there, and that's the reason why he picks it up. Like, look at that. He gets for an outside linebacker, for a guy who was only a defensive end and probably only an outside linebacker like 7-8 years ago in college. For a guy, for a Madden player to do what he just did, back out into a buzz, basically look to like cover crosser here and then get back in coverage. Like, that's crazy to me. That's amazing. He really bailed me out there, because if he doesn't do that, it's like take your pick. He has 2 of them right here wide open. It's like him and him. Take your pick. So that's really good, outstanding zone coverage right there. He has the background to do it, but just hasn't done it basically since he wasn't. He's an outside linebacker now, so I think Madden gives you, like, if you were a 4-3 team and your defensive ends, like, when you switch to a 3-4, Madden gives you like a little bit of a boost for zone coverage or whatever, man in zone coverage, because it's just like, you're naturally going to make that switch, right? So Madden always gives a boost. I remember when we went to a 3-4 with Chip Kelly, and Brandon Graham probably played outside linebacker in college. I'm pretty sure he did, but didn't with the Eagles until Chip Kelly was the coach. So, and I noticed they gave him a big boost with man in zone coverage, because there has to be some kind of like predictability, like knowing that they're making that switch. So eventually they're probably going to get a little better in zone. So they're not going to like just let him have 20, 30 man in zone. So they ended up giving him like, I don't know, 40 something man and then like almost 65 zone or low 60 zone. So that was like crazy to me at the time. The guy never played like zone, like very rarely in the NFL. So I don't know. And then back when he went back to the defensive end, I was like, let me check the attributes again, and he went back to like having 20 and 30 man in zone. So I was like, oh, whatever. Fuck it. So my thing is, like, I like to sometimes put players in certain spots, certain positions. Like if I had a 4-3 defense, I would probably put sometimes to stop the run, I would put like all big defensive linemen at every defensive lineman position. Maybe have one, guy that has decent speed, or have 2 guys with decent speed. Like let's say I would have Jordan Davis and what's his name? Carter. What's his first name? Jalen Carter, right? We got a lot of Jalen's on this team. Jalen Carter, Jalen Phillips. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, I was going to say if Jalen Davis, that would have been funny. If his first name was Jalen. Wow, we got a lot of J's. Then it was Jalen Hurts. We used to have more Jalen's. Jalen Mills we used to have. So right here, what was this? Oh yeah, this was a pass deep down the field, probably end and a half, or no, that wasn't end and a half, but I really thought I could get this one. I was just like, I knew, he was either in a cover 3 match, cover 3, cover 1, he could have been in a engage 8 like he was the play prior to this. So, and not only that, I saw that he was using his corner and left. So I took a long time here. But I know pre-snap, the only thing's going to be open are those hitches. But I'm just not, I'm just not going for that. I'm like, somebody's going to get open here. Like, I know they're covered, but I usually say go to one-on-ones, and I got one-on-ones outside, but and I was just thinking like, maybe I get that sometimes. Kobe Dean, I picked this one up myself. Or wait, no, that's right, there's another one. He was completely out of position. Completely. When I saw this is the shit that I'm talking about sometimes. When they're like in a base defense in zone, or even a man maybe sometimes, they're just like completely out of whack. Like you could be in a spread formation, you could be in a formation that has somebody going in motion. And first of all, I liked it before this happened because I thought he was in a cover 3 match or something. He probably still was because they switched like this. Usually that's more like, it happens in man, but it's more prevalent. What am I trying to say? Prevalent. It's more prevalent, yeah. And I'm always able to say that word. It's more prevalent in zone. So I see this and I'm like, okay. I take a little peek just to make sure. It's like, okay. And I really thought I was gonna get a touchdown out of this or have enough to like get past or close to midfield. And I thought this spin move, I was a little early maybe. I don't know, like a regular spin move just spins me outside to the sideline. Why is it not spinning me to the right, Well, I'll take that. I wouldn't have scored on that play anyway. Yeah, right here I made sure, like, sometimes my depth of perception would think they're like in the same area. But right here it was just like, okay, I take an extra second, look back at my front. If there's pressure, I was like, there's no pressure, okay. And then I see right here, okay, you could tell he's like 5. First of all, he's on the same yard line, but he's like 8 to 10 yards like away. Plus he's also like, 10 yards on the side of him too, so he's got to make up for even more, so he ain't gonna cut down that separation there, space. And the only thing was like, what, like, I mean, I'm guessing maybe it was thrown behind him. Let me see, what type of pass. I try to put like, whenever I see this, I don't try to use a bullet, but sometimes a bullet would be my preference for every throw, and a lot of people will actually tell you, the pros will actually tell you bullet passes are much better, than trying to lob it or get a touch pass. Because you can just use bullet passes more for most routes. But right here, you want like a touch pass because one, it's gonna carry and it's gonna, it's gonna get farther down, but it's not gonna hang up too much. So it's like in the middle, it's between it's kind of like, bullets the first thing, touch is second, and then lob is third. It's kind of between, obviously a bullet and a lob. Like it has enough velocity, but it also has enough, hang time. And right there, to be honest, kind of looks like a touch pass to me. It's like a little slow. You could still be a bullet. I just know myself, like, maybe I accidentally threw because the only passes that are being that low is probably a bullet, so I can't really tell 100% based on the speed of this throw, the ball being thrown. I'm thinking it's a bullet. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's a bullet because of the lower trajectory, and then yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of girls that know football, and I actually like that, Right there, just missed that. Yeah, I didn't really try to learn football until probably in my 20s. So I would just watch the game. And I don't know what really got me to try to learn the game. I guess you could say it's a little bit of everything, listening to the breakdowns, during football games or Madden, playing Madden, and just, I guess, trying to read the game. And sometimes, you play enough Madden or you watch enough film and stuff, how they I think I ended up watching Kurt Warner's videos. He has this kind of like quarterback school where he breaks down quarterbacks like almost every week. I think that's what it was. I watched it for entertainment at first and to watch some breakdown, and then I was like, you know what? I like the way that he's teaching, like, how to execute some plays. So then I was like, and at first I was like, it was confusing me more than anything. It was making it tougher. I was like, oh, how do they read them again? How do they read these plays? How do they execute these plays? And I was like, I ended up doing my own thing and going through my reads my own way. And I always say it's like it's how you're comfortable. You know, um, that sounds like that doesn't sound right. But like I said, there's certain plays you can read one side, like stay on one side, or stay like me. I'm trying to like based on the time I know I'm gonna get. Like I do my block adjustments pre-snap, and I think okay, and then I take a peek at the line. Like if I think I have a good offensive line, and they're only really rushing three, I'm gonna have an eternity back there if I take a peek at the line and then I'm like getting reads on one side or left in the middle, and then I'm taking a peek back to my front. And I'm like, oh my god, everybody's just, you know, nobody's coming in, you know. Um, or I developed going through my reads smartly and quickly to the point where within 2 seconds, I can go through all four or five of my reads, and sometimes it would be like literally not reading every individual route because I don't know how coaches teach it. I'm not a former player or coach at any level, not even Pee Wee, like nothing. Not an assistant coach, not a coach, nothing. But it was just like I was like, okay, let me practice, and see how can I like read this play? How can I read that play? How can I read this pass concept? And I was like figuring out like, okay, go and practice, go and practice. Okay, how does this defense play this play? I was like, where should my reads be when it's one high, too high, when I'm getting, these corners backed off, if I'm getting them pressed, if, the defense is open or closed, like how should I go through my reads or which read should I cancel? So maybe there's 5 routes on the play, but I block a person or just look at them late. They're like a read late instead of like a read in the start of my progression. So when you do that, like you're breaking the game down. So like right here, a lot of these players like to use mesh, but I don't use this much. Very rare, maybe like twice a game. I even took slants out of my playbook. Um, so one thing they like to do is roll out to the right because they want a wheel route because they know they could still throw across their body too, and they can take off with their mobile quarterback. Right here he ends up getting it. I thought he would. Yeah, right here was like, oh, okay, I'm out of position. I was using a defensive end. I didn't even know. That's like a no-no if you're trying to defend crossers. Like having, if this is a 5-2, I'm not sure. If it's a 5-2, yeah, it's a 5-2 defense. So in a 5-2, your outside linebackers, one of them will play middle linebackers. So that's a no-no. The reason for that is if their assignment is to play a buzz zone, they're really gonna they don't have the speed or the quickness like a DB would have or a linebacker. You know, they don't have the quick twitch to be able to cover a crossing route. So this would be a no-no now. So defensively, you can say like, okay, man, I beat that. You know, they beat me on the crossing route, and the reason is because I used a 5-2, which put a defensive end at basically middle linebacker position at that point. You know, and it's just too much. So at first, I'm trying to like, because I'm thinking, you know, he's probably high-lowing me right here, right? And I just wanted to cover that just a little bit for him to go off and then come down into check down. So he probably had more, you know, most people are going to read the check down first, read low then high in this situation, you know, because they don't know if a blitz coming, they don't know what's happening, right? And they do see a blitz, so their first read's going to be, you know. So this is where you can learn defensively too. Okay, maybe we don't play a 5-2 because it's going to put a defensive end at like middle linebacker position, and then it gives us more of a chance to user the wrong player here, you know. So next time it's either like, okay, we'll user somebody else on the play instead of, you know, we'll make sure that if we do use a 5-2 in a money down situation, like a money area, like that we're gonna user somebody else or just play this differently, because like hindsight's 20/20 or 50/50, but this pass would have been hard to make right here. He would have dropped this pass, or it would have been picked off. I should have just came down. You know, if you think about it, you are not going to be able to play both guys with a defensive end. I don't care what speed they have; they just don't have that quick twitch speed. You know. So he ends up scoring right there. But, you know, at that point I was like, fuck it. I drive down the field on my drive and get an easy one. Because I knew he didn't have any timeouts, and I had 2 timeouts. So I was like, oh, I got the timeout advantage there for sure. Another great day. I mean, I think I got picked up once, maybe twice. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to guess my rating right here. I'm going to say, I'm trying to think if I threw more than one pick. I'm going to say I only threw one pick. If I only threw one pick, I'm going to say it's like 117 or something like that, because I've seen a lot of ratings that I've had with 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a high completion percentage. You know, yards do matter, but it's so little. It matters so little, like, to your rating. There's not really much of a difference if I had 350 yards and 275 yards. Maybe I get 3 to 5 more quarterback rating points for that. I don't really care though, like I said. Back in the day I did. Let's see here. Oh, okay, 123. Alright. So I'm going to say that has to do with, obviously, the touchdown-interception ratio, but the completion percentage, when you have a good touchdown to interception ratio. Like if I had thrown another one, I'm probably still in the hundreds because of that completion percentage. Let me try that out online. Let me see the quarterback rating calculator. Yeah, so I believe after this, one more game and I have a 10-game win streak. Alright, so pass attempts would be 12. Wow, I only threw the ball 12 times. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't understand. It's probably because I was going down the field quick, like scoring quick, and when he got the ball, he was taking a long time. So that's what happened. You don't want to just win time possession. You want to make sure that, you know, you're scoring touchdowns more than they are, or you're getting more points, obviously, every drive than they are too. You want to win possessions. Pass completions, 10. What the fuck? 10 out of 12 is an 83? How the fuck? So you're telling me if I took a quiz, right, or some shit, an exam, and there were 12 questions and I got 10 out of 12 right, you're telling me I get an 83 on that test? That is so wrong. That is so fucking wrong right there. Passing yards. Okay, so I'm going to give myself 2 interceptions and see what that would have been. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Let's keep it 275 and I'll figure that out here. So if I had thrown, yep, wow. Another interception would have made it 118.75 rating. That's crazy to me. I don't understand it. It's got to be the average. That factor is in too. But I'm not gonna lie too. Yeah, the average per play, that's a huge thing too. But damn, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions would have gave me 118. I thought it would have gave me like a lower, maybe like 103, 104, or like even 97. I thought it would give me like low 100s or high 90s. So now let's see if I put like 320 yards. What would that do? Calculate that. Whoa. Oh yeah, that's 32 yards. Whoops. Yeah, that would be terrible. So 118. Yeah, basically that would not have affected it. It would have stayed the same. 108. That's why I say yards don't really fucking matter. Let's try 480 yards. Yep, does not change it. That's amazing. So if I do 3 interceptions, yeah, you know what's crazy? 4 interceptions probably would still keep me in the 90s. I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna do 4 interceptions. Wait, what's going on? My internet not working? It's not calculating here. There's no way. QB rating calculator. So pass attempts 12, completions 10, 275 yards, touchdowns 3, interceptions 3. Let's see. 100. And how the fuck is that not changing my rating? How is it 118? Let me put 1 again. That doesn't make sense to me. How is 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions the same as 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions? That don't make sense to me. I gotta look that information up. That does not make sense. 5 interceptions. What's that gonna do? It still keeps it the same. There's no fucking way. How? Let me put 10 interceptions. It's gotta change it. It's not changing it. There ain't no way. Alright, let's see. That just doesn't make sense to me. Well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, you know the reason why it's not changing it, I just realized, because I only have 2 incompletions, so it's kind of, you can't have more interceptions than pass incompletions, so that's why. So let me put something like 17 attempts, 10 for 17. That's really going to drop it, so I'm going to make it like 15 for, no. If I'm going to give myself 3 interceptions, I'll make it 15 for 17. Let's see what that does. Okay, what the fuck? Wait, oh yeah, once again, 2 incompletions, so I got to at least make it 14 for 17. They'll drop it. Should drop it. That should drop it. What the fuck? How is that not dropping it? That's crazy. 12 for 17. Come on now. Okay, that finally dropped it. And what did that do? It dropped it to a 112.99. So let me give myself 4 interceptions. This is incredible. You're telling me makes no sense. Let me put myself like 11 for 17, 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. This is crazy. 108. You're telling me that makes no fucking sense. You're telling me, okay. So let's say you throw for 12 interceptions. 12 touchdowns, right? So that would multiply the touchdowns by 4. And you multiply interceptions by 4. And you're telling me basically for every 15 touchdowns that you throw and you get 20 interceptions, you're telling me you would have 108.9 rating? That makes no fucking sense. That makes no sense to me. Okay, now let me type that in. 15 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. So I'm going to obviously have to increase the completions and attempts here. So I'll say like, let's say 35 attempts, and let's put like 27 completions. Oh wait, oh shit. Okay, so I would have to be basically, let's see, 35 attempts. Let's make it 40 attempts. Damn. Okay, so for 20 interceptions, I would have to have at least 20 incompletions. Or 20. Okay, so that's pretty bad. Holy shit, that's gonna bring me down real bad. Okay. 40 pass attempts. Let's say 18. That's terrible. That's below 50%. Okay, so I'm doing 40 pass attempts, 18 pass completions, 275 yards. That's horrible. 15 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Let's calculate that. 68. Okay. So let me make that a little better now. So let's say, see that's kind of, I would think it would be better than the 68. Let's say 17 interceptions. Let's make the completions maybe like 25. So that'd be a difference of 15. So I can't do that. So it'll be 20. Let's say 22. So that bumps it up to 76.56. You know, I find it funny. I find it funny how back in the day, we would say something like, you know, we would say 30 touchdowns and like 20 interceptions back in the day was pretty good. And now if you have that, you're a fucking laughing stock. Like, I don't understand how that's possible. I don't understand it. You know, like the year that whatchamacallit, the year that Jameis Winston, right? I love that guy. It sucks that everybody loves him too, because I was on him way before anybody. I love that guy. Jameis Winston, he threw like 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and he was crucified. I'm like, what? Are you kidding? The guy, yeah. The guy was like Brett Favre, like the worst version of Brett Favre, right? I mean, he would be the reason you're winning games, and he would be the reason you're losing games, right? So, I mean, I don't know how he had it tough to make it on a team, and then he got injured with the Saints, and all of a sudden now he's a fucking career backup. Like, you're telling me there's 1 or 2 years removed from him, like, having a starting position, and he can't fucking be a starter. Only, what, for the Browns? I mean, obviously, he would be the Browns would be one of the only teams to fucking have him. But, oh no, let's not talk about the situation he had with the Buccaneers, right? We're not going to talk about that. Like, once again, teams will literally ruin players. I'm telling you, teams ruin players. Like, you look at Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. I mean, how many people, like, I don't understand NFL fans. How the hell do you think Daniel Jones would fare with an actual good offense, good defense, and fucking, you know, legitimate offensive line? That is literally the opposite. Daniel Jones inherited like a fucking solid team. Fucking solid. You want to talk about everything. Giants didn't have a good offensive coordinator. Giants did not have a good defense. Giants did not have a good running game, good offensive line. And look at what he inherited. I mean, you know, he had the potential out of college. You know, sure, he wasn't a sought-after quarterback from college, but, you know, he had the tools. He had the pass accuracy. He can throw it deep. He can be a mobile quarterback. He can play in a lot of systems. And you give him a, you know, I would say a solid offensive line. I don't want to say elite. It was elite a couple years ago, but they lost some guys. But Daniel Jones, I mean, I said this with Sam Darnold. I said it with Sam Darnold. I don't even have to watch the games, guys. He was playing with the Jets and the Panthers. Those are where careers go to die. I mean, holy shit, they can't even get. Bryce Young should be better than he even is now. Imagine Bryce Young on the Vikings. Forget about it, right? The Vikings, they're not there. But imagine they have inherited. Imagine if Mike McDaniel, what's his name? It's not Mike McDaniel, is it? What the hell is the Vikings head coach? Shit. How do I not remember his name? Vikings head coach. Kevin O'Connell, yeah. Like, imagine if Kevin O'Connell had all the years with Bryce Young, right? 2 or 3 years. College type system. You know, Bryce Young, college type system quarterback, you know, like some type of like spread it out offense with him. Like, using the run game, he probably would have been used a lot with running the ball too in that offense. But like I'm saying, there's so many quarterbacks that have the tools, and they're just in the wrong situations. I mean, Sam Darnold, oh my God, he was like a top 5, top 10 quarterback, wasn't he in college? Top 5, top 10 pick. Like, you don't just get drafted that way, you know what I mean? It's not like it was just like a bad draft or anything. He was, in my opinion, the second coming of like an Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? At the time. You know, and what happened? What ended up happening? The quarterbacks who go high, go to the worst teams, right? So he was drafted 3rd overall. That's crazy. And teams did not like drafting USC quarterbacks. Even back then, they didn't. But they took a chance with him because they knew how good he was. Fucking goes to the Jets, right? How many quarterbacks were ruined by the Jets? Mark Sanchez. 3 quarterbacks in 10 years or whatever. Sam Darnold, 3rd overall. Mark Sanchez. Who knows what he was? He was also another USC quarterback. That's interesting. And then Geno Smith. Guess what? All 3 were instantly better when they left the Jets. Instantly better. Panthers was a situation that was even, like, I would say just as bad or worse as the Jets. So, you know, like, if I look at all these teams, right, Kyler Murray is being, like, I gotta say, Kyler Murray, I'll tell you right now, if I was the Cardinals and Panthers, I would make a switch. If I'm the Panthers, I would trade for Kyler Murray, trade Bryce Young for Kyler Murray, and I think both franchises would be better. Honestly, I think I would say the Panthers would still have it worse because I would say the Cardinals are a better built offense than the Panthers. They have an elite tight end. You know, they have a up and coming star in Harrison Jr. They're pretty deep at wide receiver. You got gadget guys. You got good outside receivers. You got good slot receiver. You got an elite tight end with the Cardinals. Their offensive line is a little shaky. I would like to do a video based on like roster management. I always loved that. I would love to trade lives with a general manager one day, you know, or have a decision on roster management. You know, like basically I want to do a series where I put like 2 players on every single team in the NFL. Or 1 or 2 players on like bad teams that would completely, like players that would completely change cultures or change, you know, a team's success. I would love to do that. Like, I already have some ideas for that. Like, if you look at a team like the Browns, right? Put Kyler Murray on the Browns. You would literally get the same thing you would have got with Deshaun Watson. But I already said, without Deshaun Watson's off the field shit, I was like, bro, how do you think? How in the hell? How are they making these decisions? I've told people like, it doesn't take a scientist to figure out Deshaun Watson ain't shit. He was not shit with the Texans. Oh, he got a bad offensive line. Oh, the coaching staff. Oh, this or that. Yeah. Okay. Regardless of what the excuse is, I'm telling you, he was not good. I mean, his stats were padded by the fact that the Texans were losing like almost every game. He had to throw from behind, so he would have like 4,000 yards. He was asked to pass a lot. He couldn't cut it with the Texans. What made them think, oh, he was young? What was he? He's 28 now. He was like 25, 26 at the time. I remember them saying. Right, because the Browns are a prime example. Still have a great running game, even without Nick Chubb. You know, decent wide receivers. You know what I mean? I mean, this is why I don't understand. Like, a guy like Jameis Winston is buried on the Giants depth chart. The guy, in my opinion, like, he's consistent. Like, what's his name? Their rookie quarterback, Dart. He was consistent. He was really good. But you know, then I mean, they probably would have won the games they lost if they had Jameis Winston. Problem is, they still have a bad offensive line. But the Browns let go of Jameis Winston. I mean, why would you do that? You know? Holy shit, like, they got Jameis Winston late last year on the Browns, and they let him go. Like, what's going on? He's literally, like, close to being, like, a Geno Smith type guy. His career was ruined. All because he had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. What, you didn't want to work with that? You didn't want to work with somebody like that? That's crazy to me. You know, it's crazy. Like, I get it. Maybe you had to pay him his 50 or whatever. Maybe that was his last year, but still, you could have made a contract work. But hey, it ended up working out because I think that same off season was the same year they got Brady. So the same year they let go of Jameis Winston, it's the same year they got Brady. So at the end of the day, it's almost like that 30 touchdown, 30 interception season, and him being injured with the Saints completely cost him his career. You know, completely cost him his career. The Browns should have never let go of Jameis Winston. You know, I would literally, you know, Baker Mayfield wouldn't have worked out. But, I mean, to be honest, I mean, he was kind of making it work with the Browns like his last 2 years, right? Here's the other thing. What was that situation? Did they not want to pay him? I don't know what the contract was that time. I don't know if it was his last year, if he was on his last year of his rookie deal, but how the hell do you let a guy walk out like that? Holy shit. Like, the guy brought you your first playoff win, and as long as, like, the Cowboys at that point, like the Cowboys getting to the Super Bowl, right? Like, I don't remember, when was the last time the Browns won a playoff game? He gets you, not only does it get you a playoff game, but you're one play away from going to the AFC Championship game. Because if the Chiefs did not make it happen with their backup quarterback, if Andy Reid didn't call the good plays he did, and you know they had a turnover on downs, you're looking at the Browns and Baker Mayfield being one game away for the Super Bowl. And literally that year, you let him go right after that season, right? Either that season or next, don't matter. Because he had a thumb injury, and they fucking let him go. A thumb injury. You ruined his career when he went to the freaking Panthers and Giants. Shit, didn't even have the decency to trade him to a good team. A decent team. So Buccaneers, let's see. What the fuck is going on here? Yeah, so Baker Mayfield, right? He's in his 6th year right now. So at that time, wait a minute, first overall? Damn, I didn't think he was first overall. Wow. He was kind of like a Johnny Manziel, but just not as immature. So I mean, you see this shit right here. He had a great year. That's probably the year that he took them like one or two plays. The Browns were 1 or 2 plays away from moving on to the AFC Championship game. Their defense couldn't stop the Chiefs. If their defense stopped the Chiefs, they would have went to the AFC Championship game with Baker Mayfield. You know, they probably would have lost, but they're probably keeping him if that happens. That's crazy to me. So if their defense steps up and wins the game, Baker Mayfield stays on the Browns. Right, that's insane. And then the next year, he has a little injury on his thumb, and he's underperforming because of his injury. And, like, who knows what the hell happened. You know, still didn't have a great completion percentage, but he did not have anybody with the Browns, right? They were not consistent play calling wise. They played in a tough division. Touchdown receptions. I mean, that's kind of like a high caliber backup. Those are kind of like high caliber backup touchdowns right here. But like I said, who did he have to work with on the Browns? You know, like they were not fit to like challenge the Steelers, the Bengals, the Ravens at that point. Tough division, having to face, you know, basically you look at it, 6 games, 6 opponents. You know, 3 teams, but 6 opponents, 6 games. He had to play with the Browns. And they fucking let him walk. They didn't even put his Giants stats here. Where the hell is his Panthers stats? Yeah. Wow, that's crazy to me. So the year that he played with 3 teams, right? The Panthers, the Giants, and I believe the Rams right here. They didn't even give him that. They didn't show that he played for the Panthers or Giants. I mean, he only played maybe half a season with them. I don't know. The 10 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, that was probably in like just 2-3 games. No, bullshit. He never played 10 games with the Rams. You gotta be kidding me. No, he didn't. I don't remember that. 10 games? Wait a minute. So maybe the game that he came and played for them, he won that. I remember. So maybe he played 9 more games after that. I don't know. Because I remember when he played for the Rams, it was almost like an emergency quarterback type situation that they had him go in, and he just never gave the job up the rest of the year.